Hello YouTube people, in today's video I will show you a new release from Addiesdive called AD2094, and in order to make this video a little bit more interesting I will do a little comparison versus other Addiesdive watches, versus Addiesdive AD2084 and AD2075, and I no longer have it, but I would like to include that watch in this comparison, AD2080, because all of them have the same NH35A movements and all of them cost very similar price. Addiesdive has sent me this watch for the video and I get to keep it. Thank you, Addiesdive. Let's begin with the measurements, and as always I did all the measurements myself. The size of my wrist is 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches. This watch, naked like this, weighs 56 grams. Diameter is 38.8 millimeters. Lug to lug distance 48.1, lug width is 20, thickness is 12.8 millimeters. This watch has mineral crystal with blue anti-reflective coating. It has water resistance of 100 meters together with a screw down crown and screw down case back, and inside it has NH35 automatic movement, and it comes on this bracelet which has solid end links, solid links. Links are connected with pins. It has the solid metal clasp and it tapers down to 16 millimeters. Before I begin the comparison and quality control testings, I just wanna give you a general overview about this watch. I wanna give you a good look at this watch, how it looks on my wrist. Maybe turn off this background orange light to give you a better look of this dial, because in my opinion this is one of the main selling points on this watch, the dial, because it looks unbelievable. It's a very beautiful dial. Let's take a better look at this dial, which sits underneath this very beautiful mineral crystal, which has very decent anti-reflective coating. And the dial, as you see, has this very beautiful texture and very beautiful color. It's a little bit more blue than green. As I see right now on the camera screen, it appears to be a little bit greenish, but no. In real life it's actually blue as Mediterranean sea water, you know. So that's very nice. And towards the edges this dial becomes a little bit darker, and the chapter ring is actually, well, it actually doesn't have a chapter ring. It's completely, almost completely black on the minute track. I think the saturation, the color, the fade into the black is done very tastefully. Everything looks so nice. And speaking about, you know, done tastefully, what I really like about this watch, that everything looks very cohesive. I mean, those indices are pointy, spiky looking things, but also a very beautifully integrated date window at 6 also is tapering down a little bit towards the middle, giving this continuation of shape, and those hands are very pointy. So it's spiky looking watch, but everything looks very well balanced, very cohesive. It's a beautiful thing to look at. And especially, you know what, let me give you a good look at those hands. What's nice about those hands, that they are not flat. They are not flat. Those the middle portion of those hands is brushed and edges are sloping down and they're polished out. The hands on this watch are done exceptionally well. I really hope you're gonna see well on camera, but these hands are done so nicely. These are very beautiful hands on this watch, and very beautiful indices as well. And generally looking at this watch, I see no dust, no misalignments, nothing. It's just well done watch. It's a very beautiful watch. Okay, let's continue with the comparison. And first of all, I would like to mention the existence of AD2080 model, which, well, would fit in this comparison very nicely, because it has the same movement, price tag is very similar, and it has very beautiful blue dial. And that's the same theme on this watch as well, AD2094 and 2075. because the dial on these watches is just very, very beautiful. So on that AD2080 also, it has very nice vertical stripes on the dial. That's a very beautiful watch, and in my opinion definitely one of the best looking Addiesdive watches in general. So that's very high recommendation from me, AD2080. But let's do a little comparison. Let's take a look at this AD2075, and for me the only problem with this watch was that sapphire crystal on this watch is a little bit different. It's a little bit distortive, a little bit glossy. It does have some moments where it looks really good. I mean, even those distortions at some angles look rather playful and rather interesting, but it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. I wish the dial on this watch was popping out a little bit more into action. I wish it would look a little bit closer to the front of the glass. Now, very good example is this watch, because in my opinion this watch, AD2084, has the best sapphire crystal that you could possibly wish for a watch like this. It's also this bubbly kind of crystal with flat middle portion, also with this very beautiful blue anti-reflective coating, which works surprisingly good even on this black dial, even on this black dial. In general, I just really like this watch. I like how slim is the bezel. It's so beautiful, and the overall proportions, and this crown, mushroom shaped crown, which is sticking out a little bit away from the case. It's in general very nice watch. It's a little bit thick, but it's general theme across the range, I would say, thickness, because if I will look at this watch as well, it's a little bit of a chunky watch. This one feels the smallest out of the bunch, actually. This one feels the smallest, but the difference isn't really that great. Even this chunky boy doesn't feel that bad on the wrist, to be honest with you. Let me put it on the wrist. Let me give you a good look. Yeah, this is probably my favorite out of the bunch, together with AD2080. This is wonderful, and it has such a good sapphire crystal, this watch. But I'm not talking down away from this watch, AD2094. In terms of the looks, it is definitely up there with the best in comparison. The only problem with this watch for me is that it doesn't have sapphire, and I'm a rather clumsy person, and for me it doesn't really take long to scratch mineral crystal, so that's the only problem for me. But in terms of the look, this thing looks just amazing. Now let's start quality control testing, and let's begin with the bracelet. And first problem I would like to point out that many people wouldn't even notice and wouldn't even care is the gap between the end link and the first link right there. I wish it was a little bit smaller, this little gap, but nice thing is that the first link is actually free to move, so it actually points down on my wrist, effectively making this watch feel shorter and more comfortable. So I guess it's fine, it's not really that noticeable. And the watch, when it is sitting on my wrist, it feels fine. I feel no sharpness, it doesn't pull my hair, so it's okay. Now the fitment inside lugs, if we take a very good close look, there is nothing to complain about. There are no gaps between end links and lugs themselves. The fitment is very precise. There is no free play whatsoever. It sits flush and nice, very nice. I like that this bracelet is rather slim. The articulation is very good. It feels good on the wrist. This thing feels good on the wrist. And the sharpness, well, I would say it's actually a little bit better than the average, but generally speaking it's basically the same as across the range on every other Addiesdive watch. Now the clasp also is basically the same as on every other Addiesdive watch, no surprises there. Clasp itself is rather sharp. The inside portion is actually a little bit better than usual, I would say. This part is a little bit sharp, but this part, which is gonna touch the skin, on the inside, is actually decent. I would say the sharpness in general is actually good enough that I wouldn't bother finishing it up. It's fine. And what I like about these Addiesdive clasps is that they are rather slim, as you can see. I like the shape. They're slim, they're compact, that they have plenty of micro adjustments. I really like those shiny polished out edges and this Addiesdive engraving. It's nice, and it feels very well done. It's very precise. It's like piece of solid metal that's built precise, you know. So when this watch is on the wrist, yeah, nothing to complain about really. Let me show you how the case of this watch looks up close. Sides are polished out very nicely and they are rounded up a little bit, which I like very much. Top of the lugs is brushed. The inside of the lugs, between lugs, is vertically brushed. The crown is signed. I wish the crown on this watch was a little bit bigger though, but it looks okay. The bezel, shiny and it's slim. I like that the bezel on this watch is slim. The case back, well, nothing unusual, same as on every other Addiesdive watch. Sometimes these engravings are sharp, sometimes they are not. On this one, I wouldn't call it sharp, this one is actually fine. So let me show you a little bit of comparison. Let's begin with this bezel. The bezel on this watch, I think it's perfect. It's slim, it's elegant, it looks very nice. Now let me show you a bad example. Bad example would be this one, AD2075. Bezel on this watch, in my opinion, is a little bit too tall. It's a little bit too thick. So this is bad example and this is good example. Now speaking about side of the case, this side profile, you know, it's a little bit rounded. It gives off a little bit of a sleeker, slimmer look. I really like that. Now let me give you a bad example. Bad example would be this one, AD2084, which, you know, on a slim watch, slobby sides would look fine. I would say flat profile on slim watch would look fine, but this is far from a slim watch. This is actually a thick watch, and I think those profiles like that don't really work on this watch very well. I wish the bottom edge was done in the same way as the top of the edge, visually making it look a little bit slimmer. That would be nice. So this is, I would say, bad example of the side, and this is a good example. So this watch is combination of some good examples, but you know, it's just my personal taste, my personal opinion. Now let me show you the Lume and display a little bit in a dim light. So let's begin with the star of the show, and there is no surprise, Lume is actually good. What's interesting is that the minute hand is loomed only on the arrow. That's interesting, never seen that before. That looks good. That looks good. Now in comparison, let me show you these Addiesdive watches as well. AD2084, this one also has fully loomed bezel. Looks awesome, and this one, AD2075. And yeah, I'm telling you, what very nice thing from Addiesdive is that when you buy a watch from Addiesdive, you can be pretty sure that you're gonna get a watch with very good lume. Okay, let's move on with the quality control testing, and let's see how is the accuracy on this watch looking like. Well, it has an H35A movement inside, so I don't expect much, but let's see what we're gonna get. The watch is fully wound, by the way. Zero. That's very nice. It's accuracy on 0, but you know, accuracy in one position doesn't mean much. So let's flip it over. Let's see what results we're gonna get in other positions. Plus 6 seconds. Not bad, not bad. Now let's see what if I put this watch in a crown facing down position. Plus 4 seconds. To be honest with you, as from an H35A movement, these are one of the best results I have ever seen. Now let's check the alignment of hands and let's see how far from the midnight it is going to flip the date. So first of all, let's set it on exactly 6, and the alignment of hands seems fine, I think. Now let's see how far from the midnight it flips the date. So 11:30, 11:45. Now let's go slowly. Now let's see what happens, when it happens actually. Wow. As good as it gets, you know. As good as it gets. Very nice, very nice. Now about the crown, it's a little bit smallish. I wish it was a little bit larger, but the grip is good. The grip is good. Screwing it down, it's a little bit, you know, we have to try a little bit harder, but it's fine. The crown is grippy. So yeah, the results are very nice. The original bracelet is okay and it looks fine on this watch, but you know, I'm not a bracelet guy, so let's try how this watch looks like on these custom straps. And if you're interested, you can find them on my website, thomaswatchreviews.com. I don't show you this strap very often because there aren't many watches that I think look good on this leather strap, but I think this one does. This one looks good because of those pokey, pointy indices and hands. This watch has somewhat cool character, I would say, and I think this character really fits with this strap. So yeah, it doesn't look bad, and obviously this strap is very good for hot summer days. Yeah, interesting option. And I also think this just a simple classy black shiny leather strap, which by the way is rather soft and nice, looks really good on this watch. You know, if you wanna wear this watch in like an office with a nice suit, I think this watch on this leather strap would look very fitting for official environments, I would say. It doesn't look bad, you know, it's a very nice daily watch which you can dress up a little bit, as you can see. That's nice. This is probably the coolest looking leather strap that I have, and I think it really fits the character of this watch. It's a very nice combination in my opinion. And just for fun, let's put this watch on this chainmail bracelet. That's how it looks like. It looks pretty good, I must say. It looks pretty good. Very interesting option for this watch. And that's how it looks like on this shiny, soft, silk smooth nylon strap. It looks great. I think it looks really good. Really good. Very comfortable option, by the way. And this is the same strap, just different color. I just wanted to see how this color combination would look like. And yeah, it looks nice. I think it looks nice. I would still probably go for the gray option, but these straps are so cheap. If you're gonna buy these straps, just buy a bunch of colors, you know. They're very cheap, they're very nice, and they fit many watches stylistically wise very nicely, as you can see. And the last one is this elastic nylon strap, and I think this gray color works very well with many watches, this one included, and it's a very comfortable option as well. For the ending of this video, let's put this watch back on its original bracelet, and doing this strap show, I believe I have proven that this watch is very versatile and very playful. It looks very good on a black shiny leather strap. It dresses this watch up, it looks more, you know, official. You can dress this watch down and put on something like this, very comfortable nylon strap, and this watch looks very sporty, very active. So yeah, this watch is very versatile. You can change the character of this watch quite a lot on different straps, and quite a looker. I mean, this watch is quite a looker. You know what, let's play a little bit more with the light. Let's turn this one off and maybe this one off. Let's give you this color look without the orange background light. You know, the main thing about this watch is very beautiful, and if you don't mind the lack of sapphire crystal, this thing is a very nice thing to have for sure. It is a very nice thing to have, this watch. So yeah, with this note, let's end this video. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.